I died, choking on my own blood, the metallic tang flooding my mouth as the car's dashboard crushed my chest like a vice. Betrayed by the man I'd called husband for 15 years, Mark had rigged the brakes on my SUV, sending me plummeting off that rain-slicked interstate outside Chicago, all to cover his tracks after siphoning every dime from Sophie's college fund into his offshore slush pile. And in that final, gasping moment, as the world blurred to black, I swore if there was a god, or a devil listening, I'd claw my way back and burn his empire to ash. But death isn't the end. Sometimes it's just a shitty reset button. I woke up gasping, not in some ethereal void, but in my old queen bed in our Oak Park split level, the alarm clock blinking 6:47 a.m. On a crisp September morning in 2018, 7 years before the crash that ended me. My hands flew to my face, smooth and unlined. No scars from the wreck. No ache in my ribs from the autopsy Y incision. Heart hammering, I bolted upright, the familiar lavender duvet tangling around my legs. This wasn't heaven. This was hell's cruel joke. Rebirth. Or whatever the fuck you call it when the universe hits rewind on your worst nightmare.
Sienna?
Honey, you okay? Mark's voice slithered from the bathroom, casual as ever, the shower still running. He poked his head out, towel slung low on his hips. That salesman grin plastered on like it was 2018, and he hadn't yet become the monster who'd orphan our daughter. Sophie, God.
Sophie.
She was just 12 back then, all gangly limbs and dreams of Juilliard, practicing violin in the living room while I balanced the books for his consulting firm. The one that was really a front for embezzling from clients, starting with our own nest egg. I forced a smile, bile rising in my throat. Yeah, just a bad dream. My voice cracked. But he didn't notice. Too busy humming some bullshit pop tune as he shaved. I slipped out of bed, bare feet hitting the cool hardwood, and padded to the mirror. There I was, Sienna Hargrove, 38, with my chestnut bob and laugh lines that hadn't deepened into canyons yet. But I knew. Every buried secret surged back, the late-night whispers on his phone, the business trips to Miami, the way he'd gaslight me into doubting my own audits when the numbers didn't add up. Downstairs, Sophie was at the kitchen island, cereal bowl overflowing with Lucky Charms, her nose buried in a dog-eared copy of The Fault in Our Stars.
Mom.
Dad burned the toast again last night. Can we get waffles from that place on Lake Street? Her green eyes, mine, thank God, sparkled with that innocent fire. She had no idea the fund we'd scrimped for, the one I'd sacrificed my graphic design gigs to build, would vanish like smoke under her father's greedy fingers.
Sure. Kiddo.
Waffles it is. I ruffled her hair, fighting the urge to scoop her up and run. But running wasn't the plan. Not anymore. Last time, I trusted him, ignored the red flags, and paid with my life. This time, I'd play the devoted wife just long enough to unravel his web. Mark's firm, Hargrove Investments, was already rotting from the inside. Shell companies, falsified returns, clients like that sleazy real estate mogul from Milwaukee who'd killed to protect his laundered cash. I'd start small, access the accounts, plant the seeds of doubt, make him think the noose was tightening from his own mistakes. By noon, I was in the home office. The door cracked just enough to hear Mark on a call in the den.
Yeah.
Transfer the funds to the Cayman's account, discreetly. Sophie's tuition can wait. This deal's gold. My blood ran cold. He was already dipping in, backdating entries to cover the first skim. fingers flying over the keyboard. I mirrored his laptop drive to a hidden USB, old school, untraceable.
Then,
I drafted an anonymous email to the SEC tip line, vague enough to fly under radar, but laced with enough jargon to make some junior analyst perk up. That night, over takeout Thai, Mark's idea of romance, I watched him shovel pad CEW into his mouth. Oblivious. Babe, you seem off today. Everything good at the studio. He meant my freelance gig. The one I'd let lapse to support his big break. Peachy, I said, swirling my wine. Just thinking about Sophie's future. College isn't cheap. His fork paused midair, eyes flicking to mine, wary, calculating.
good.
Let him sweat. The next weeks blurred into a tense domestic tango. I'd wake before dawn, poring over bank statements, cross-referencing wire transfers against his calendar. Sophie noticed my extra energy, as she called it, begging me to join her for after-school art club. Mom, draw with me. You're better than Mr. Jenkins. Her sketches were all bold strokes and hidden depths, just like her. I did it, charcoal smudging my fingers, laughing for the first time in this second life. But laughter was armor. Underneath, rage simmered. Mark was escalating, a new partner, Elena Voss, some sharp-elbowed accountant from his golf league, slinking into meetings with two familiar touches. One rainy Tuesday, I tailed him to a coffee shop in Lincoln Park. There she was, Elena, legs crossed under the table, handing over a thumb drive with a wink. This launders the Milwaukee batch clean. Your cut's wired. Mark's hand lingered on hers. Adultery was the least of his sins, but it fueled mine. Back home, I hacked her LinkedIn easy, with her password pattern, birth year plus Fox, ironic for Vixen. Buried in her certs, a fraud conviction, expunged but not erased from public records. Leverage. I confronted him subtly. Over dinner. Heard about Elena's impressive resume. She ever mentioned that little tax hiccup back in '09? His chopsticks clattered. What the hell?
Sienna?
Jealous much. Not jealous. Curious. I held his gaze, letting the silence stretch. He cracked first, spinning some yarn about her being reformed, but doubt had taken root. That night, he slept on the couch, his choice. Or so he claimed. Sophie's 13th birthday loomed, a milestone I'd missed last time. Comatose in a hospital bed while Mark grieved by draining the fund dry. This go-round, I threw the party, bounce house in the backyard, violin quartet from her school, a cake shaped like a Broadway marquee. She beamed, hugging me tight. Best mom ever. Mark played the doting dad, but his eyes darted to his phone, another offshore alert. No doubt. As guests milled, I slipped away to the garage, where I'd stashed a burner phone. Text to Elena. Know what your boss is hiding? Check attachment. Walk away, or we both go down. The file? Screenshots of Mark's emails. Timestamps matching her consults. Petty? Maybe. But it was the first fracture. Elena ghosted him by week's end. Calls went to voicemail. Meetings canceled. Mark paced like a caged wolf, blaming market jitters. I feigned sympathy, brewing his coffee stronger, listening as he vented about disloyal bitches. Inside, I toasted. Round one to me. But revenge isn't linear. It's a snake eating its tail. 2 months in, the SEC pinged a routine inquiry into Hargrove Investments. Mark whitened, slamming his laptop. This is sabotage. Someone's gunning for me. He eyed me then, suspicion hardening. You wouldn't. Me? I'm just the wife. But my heart raced. I'd pushed too fast? No, patience was my weapon now. That night, as Sophie practiced scales upstairs, he cornered me in the kitchen. Sienna, level with me. You into my books again. His breath reeked of scotch. I leaned in, voice honeyed venom. Only if you make it worth my while. It bought time, but the air thickened, electric with unspoken threats. Winter crept in, Chicago's wind howling like banshees. Sophie's school play cast her as Ariel, ironic. A little mermaid scheming for legs. I sewed her costume, stitches tight as my resolve. Mark's empire cracked wider, clients pulling funds, whispers of audits. He doubled down, courting a new whale, a tech bro from Silicon Valley, promising guaranteed 20% returns on funny money. I met the bro incognito, at a networking mixer in the Loop. Posing as a venture scout, I dropped hints. Heard Hargrove's got creative accounting. Ever peek under the hood? The guy's eyes lit. Greed or caution?
Didn't matter. Seed sown.
Home front frayed. Mark's rages escalated. Smashed plates. Accusations flying. Sophie retreated to her room. Headphones on. Sketching darker now. Storms over cities. Mom. Why's Dad so mad all the time? I'd hug her, whispering, it's grown-up stuff. You're safe. But safety was illusion. One blizzard night, he grabbed my wrist, bruising. You're behind this, aren't you? Sabotaging me. I yanked free, fire in my veins. Prove it.
He didn't yet.
Instead, he hired a PI, some ex-cop named Rizzo, tailing me to coffee runs, Sophie's recitals. I turned it, fed Rizzo fake trails, billing records pointing to Mark's Miami flings. The PI flipped, or so his report suggested, anonymous drop in our mailbox. Photos of Mark with escorts. Timestamps overlapping client meets. Blackmail gold. Spring thawed the ice, but not the chill between us. Sophie turned 14, braces gleaming, dreams shifting from music to coding, like that girl in Hidden Figures.
Mom.
I enrolled her in a summer camp at Northwestern, dipping into savings, our savings, not his tainted pot. Mark fumed. You're spoiling her. That funds for essentials. Education is essential, I shot back. The fight spilled into the street. Neighbors peeking from curtains. Oak Park's all-American facade hid its vipers. But mine was striking first. By summer, the fund stood at $87,000, intact, thanks to my ghost transfers to a trust under Sophie's name only. Mark noticed. Of course. How the hell? He tore through files, finding locks I'd changed digitally. Paranoia peaked. He installed cameras, acclaimed security. I smiled for the lenses. But offline, I plotted deeper. Elena resurfaced, not as ally, but informant. Coffee in a dive bar off-whacker. He tried to frame you for the skim. Forged your signature on the withdrawals. Her eyes darted. I want out clean. Help me bury him. And you're golden. We shook, tentative pact. The comeback kid in me thrilled, but doubt gnawed. Was I becoming him? Ruthless. Corner cutting? Sophie saw it, pulling away. Mom, you're different. Scary different. Her words stung worse than Mark's grip. Yet I pressed. Anonymous posts on finance forums, Hargrove Investments. Ponzi vibes? Check the Cayman's leaks. Traffic surged. A Bloomberg stringer bit. Requesting comment. Mark spun damage control. But the article dropped. Whispers of irregularities at Chicago firm. Clients bolted. His net worth cratered. Desperation bred danger. He cornered Sophie one afternoon. Post-school. I overheard from the stairs. Your mom's ruining us.
Soph.
Tell me what she's doing. Leave me alone.
Dad.
Her voice trembled. I burst in, shoving him back. Touch her, and you're done. He laughed.
Bitter.
Already am. Thanks to you. That night, alone, I wept for the man he'd been, or pretended to be. But tears dried to steel. The crash replayed in dreams, tires screeching, his voice on the burner. Make it look like she was drinking. No more victim. Fall leaves turned blood red as the net closed. SEC raided the office, warrants eyed greased with Elena's docs. Mark arrested in cuffs. Sputtering denials. Bail set high, he called from lockup. Sienna?
Please.
For Sophie. For Sophie, I echoed, hanging up. Victory tasted like ash. But the twist? Sophie found my burner. The emails. The plots.
Mom.
You did this. Horror in her eyes.
Not awe.
I saved us, I whispered. She backed away. By destroying him, you're no better. The shatter began, not his world, but ours. Sophie's accusation hung in the air like exhaust fumes, thick and choking, as she clutched the burner phone like it was a grenade. We were in her room. Posters of coding icons, Grace Hopper, Ada Lovelace, staring down judgmentally. The fairy lights I'd strung for her birthday casting accusatory glows.
You
set that up? All of it? The emails. The PI stuff. I reached for her, but she flinched. Soph. Listen. He was stealing from you, from us. The fund. Your future. I had to stop him before he killed me again. I didn't say. The truth was a minefield. How do you explain rebirth to a kid who's already lost faith in family? Her face crumpled. Tears carving tracks through freckles. But you're the one who taught me right from wrong. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Now you're judge and jury. She hurled the phone at the wall. It cracked. Screen spiderwebbing. Downstairs. Mark's bail, hearing loom tomorrow. But up here, my real trial raged. I sank onto her bed, the quilt she'd sewn in Scouts bunching under me. He betrayed us first. Forged docs. Hid affairs. Planned to leave us penniless. I saw it coming, knew the endgame. A half-truth, the crash's echo pulsed in my temples. This was protection, not revenge. Protection, she scoffed, voice cracking into that teen edge. You look at him like he's the devil. And those nights you were out working late, tailing him, that's not mom. That's spy movie crap. She paced, hugging herself. What if he goes to prison? What then? We lose everything. House, friends, normal. Normal. The word mocked me. Last life. Normal ended with me mangled in a ditch. Sophie shuttled to foster care while Mark played grieving widower, jetting to Aruba with Elena on my life insurance. We rebuild, I said softly. Stronger. Just you and me. She stopped, eyes searching mine, mirrors of my own, haunted now. Promise no more secrets? Promise. Lie number 1 in this fragile piece. The real secrets? Buried deeper. Like the offshore backups I'd squirreled. Or the anonymous donation to a victim's fund in Mark's name. Ironic twist of the knife. Morning brought gray skies and a courthouse downtown. All marble pillars and echoing footsteps. I left Sophie with my sister, Aunt Lena, blunt Jersey transplant who eyed me funny. You finally growing a spine.
See?
About time. No clue how right she was. The hearing was theater, Mark in off-rack suit, hair slicked, playing the family man. Your Honor, this is a misunderstanding. My wife's stressed, overwork. His lawyer, a slick Naperville type, motion to dismiss on insufficient evidence. I testified. Voice steady as I laid out the discrepancies, mismatched ledgers, suspicious wires. The judge, a no-nonsense black woman with salt and pepper braids, peered over glasses. Mrs. Hargrove, any motive for fabrication? Only justice. Your Honor. For my daughter. Gasps rippled. Mark's glare could curdle milk. Bail denied. Flight risk. They ruled. As deputies cuffed him, he mouthed, "You'll pay." Outside, rain pelted like accusations. Sophie waited under Lena's umbrella.
Soaked anyway.
Did you lie in there? Truth hurts more, I murmured, pulling her close. We drove home in silence, wipers thwacking like a metronome to my guilt. The house felt cavernous without his bluster. I cooked pasta, Sophie's fave. Alfredo with peas, but she picked at it, scrolling TikTok for distraction. Kids at school are whispering. Sophie's dad's a crook.
Great.
Kids are assholes. It'll blow over. But it didn't. Bullies tagged her locker. Thief spawn. She skipped rehearsals. Violin case gathering dust. I intervened. Parent-teacher conference. Stern emails, but the damage festered. Nights. She'd cry into my shoulder. Why us? Mom, if only she knew us was luckier this time. Last round. She'd been the one shattered, testifying against his fraud trial while I rotted in a plot at Rose Hill Cemetery. To mend, I dove into normalcy, enrolled in night classes at community college, graphic design redux. Sophie joined coding club, her fingers flying over keys like piano runs. We baked sundaes, plotted Halloween costumes, her as a hacker witch, me as the enchanted algorithm. Laughter crept back.
Tentative.
But Mark's shadow loomed. Letters from Cook County Jail. Scrawled, please. I love you both. This is your doing, undo it. I burned them in the sink, flames dancing like my second chance. Elena called once. Voice hushed. He's raging in there. Blaming you for everything. Watch your back. Always do.
Click.
Paranoia installed new locks. Pepper spray in my purse. Controversial? Hiring a bodyguard on retainer. Ex-Marine named Torres, framed as self-defense training. Sophie rolled eyes. Mom, we're not in a thriller. Yet thrills escalated. A Bloomberg follow-up exposed Mark's ties to that Milwaukee mogul, kickbacks on foreclosed properties. Evictions disguised as urban renewal. Protests erupted outside the old office. Signs reading justice for the displaced. One victim, a single mom named Carla, tracked me down via mutual friends. He ruined my life. You gonna help? Our pact formed over diner coffee, a class action suit. Me as lead plaintiff. Risky, drag my name into headlines. Wife turns on embezzler hubby. Pundits on Fox called me Vindictive harpy, CNN. Brave whistleblower. Controversy brewed. Death threats trickling in, snitches get stitches. Sophie hated the spotlight. Turn it off.
Mom.
Please. But I couldn't. Momentum was the tide now. Thanksgiving loomed. Turkey thawing in the fridge. Lena hosted. Her cramped Wrigleyville walk-up stuffed with kin, cousins from Philly, uncles grilling politics. Sophie thawed, too. Charming Great Aunt Marge with code tricks on her iPad. Show me how to hack the thermostat, it's freezing. Lena pulled me aside. Wine in hand. Girl, you're glowing. But haunted.
Spill.
Long story. Rebirth?
Nah.
Just. Reclaiming my life. She clinked glasses. To bitches who bite back.
Post-holiday.
The suit gained steam. Lawyers pro bono. Fueled by public outrage. Mark's trial date set for March. Charges stacking. Wire fraud. Money laundering. Conspiracy. His assets frozen. Our house spared. Technically mine from premarital dowry. But the buried secret clawed up. During discovery. Emails surfaced. Mark's plot to frame me for the initial skim. Sienna's the weak link. Sign her name. Let her take the fall. Elena had forwarded them. Time-stamped months before my death last time. Rage reignited. I leaked to the Sun-Times. Embezzler planned to pin crimes on wife. Front page firestorm. Protests swelled. A GoFundMe for victims hit 6 figures. Sophie's fund replenished tenfold.
She saw the article.
Slamming her laptop. You leaked this?
Mom.
It's personal now. Everyone knows. Even the details. Details save lives, I countered.
Lie.
It was catharsis. Salt in his wounds. Winter break. We escaped to a cabin upstate, Michigan side. Snow blanketing pines. No Wi-Fi. Just hot cocoa and esmores. Sophie confessed over firelight. I miss Dad. The good parts.
Campouts.
Bad jokes. My chest tightened. Me too. But he chose this path. She nodded. Poking embers.
What if I talk to him?
Neutral ground. Dangerous. But her eyes pleaded, first crack in my armor. Supervised. Torres drives. Visitation room at the jail, sterile gray. Vending hum. Mark across plexiglass. Thinner. Eyes hollow. Sophie girl. Voice cracking. She pressed the receiver.
Tentative.
Hi. Dad. They talked school. Friends. His injustice. I watched. Bile rising as he spun yarns. Your mom's poisoned you against me. She glanced my way. Conflicted. Then. The bomb. Soph. There's something you should know. About the money, it was for us. A surprise. Mom's the one who. Liar. I snatched the phone. Don't you dare. Deputies intervened. Sophie sobbed all the way home. Trust fractured again. Was he telling the truth? No, but doubt seated. Was my memory flawless? Or had rebirth warped it? January brought blizzards and breakthroughs. The mogul flipped. Plea deal naming Mark as ringleader. Elena testified. Cool as ice. He ordered the forgeries. Targeted his own family first. Courtroom packed. Sophie insisted on attending. Hand in mine. Mark's entrance, shackled. Defeated. As Elena detailed the fund heist, $120K siphoned. Sophie's violin lessons canceled in the original timeline. I squeezed her fingers. This ends today. But his eyes met mine. Not hate. But pity? You think you won? Verdict. Guilty. 25 years. Gavel bang echoed like my crash. Cheers erupted. Sophie buried face in my shoulder, whispering, "It's over."
Was it? Outside.
Paparazzi swarmed. Sienna? Hero or homewrecker? I shielded her. Torres barking paths. Home. Champagne popped. Lena's idea. To new chapters. Sophie smiled. But it wobbled.
Mom.
I found something. In Dad's old files. My stomach dropped. What? A letter.
To me.
Dated before the raid. She handed it, trembling.
Sophie.
If anything happens, know your mom knew. She pushed me to this. Ambition. Jealousy. But I love you both.
Forgive.
Forgery? Or truth's twist? The letter's ink bled under my thumb. Mark's looping script mocking from the page, your mom knew. Bullshit. Or was it? Rebirth's fog-clouded edges. Had I ignored warnings in this life too? Projecting future sins onto present shadows? Sophie hovered. Eyes red-rimmed. Is it real? Mom?
Did you?
Push him. I crumpled it. Flames devouring it in the fireplace later that night.
Fake.
He wrote it to divide us. But sleep evaded. Ghosts of what-ifs dancing. If I'd played softer, could we have salvaged a family? No. His betrayal ran marrow deep. Veins of greed pulsing from the start. Sophie withdrew. Coding marathons replacing talks. Her app prototype, a budgeting tool for single parents, won a school fair. Judges buzzing. Inspired by real life, she muttered when I congratulated her. Pride swelled. But so did fear. Was she building walls? Like me? Media frenzy peaked. Dateline pitched a special, The Wife Who Cracked the Code. I declined, but leaks fed the beast, op-eds debating feminist vigilantism versus marital sabotage. Controversial decisions piled. I donated trial proceeds to anti-fraud NGOs, but anonymously funneled seed money to a PI firm investigating other Hargrove-like firms. Ethical gray? Hell yes. But victims like Carla deserve scalps. Torres became fixture. His quiet vigilance a comfort. Over stakeout coffee, ironic. Guarding against ghosts, he shared war stories, Iraq ambushes. Trust shattered. You fight fire with fire.
Ma'am.
Just don't become the blaze.
Wise.
But blaze I did. March thawed to April. Cherry blossoms mocking our frost. Sophie's birthday, 15 now. Leggy and luminous. I plan low-key. Improv class. Her new obsession. Then dinner at Girl and the Goat. But she begged. Invite Aunt Lena.
And.
Can we visit Dad? One last time. Gut punch. Why? To say goodbye. For real. Her resolve mirrored mine. Stubborn Hargrove blood. Jail again. Spring sun mocking the gloom. Mark looked up. Gaunt but groomed. Orange jumpsuit a far cry from Armani.
Sienna.
You came. For her. Sophie sat first. Receiver trembling. Dad.
I
forgive you. But I can't forget. His eyes welled. Crocodile tears? That's my girl. Strong like your mom. Venom laced the compliment. Then, to me, you won. Happy, ecstatic.
Lie.
Winning felt hollow. A void where family should be.
He leaned in.
One truth. Before you gloat. The fund started as a safety net for us to leave the rat race. You nagged, pushed for legitimacy. I cut corners to keep up. Gaslight flicker. You stole from our daughter. For her future, private schools,
Trusts.
you blind to the dream. His whisper cut, or too busy playing martyr. Sophie interrupted. Stop. Both of you. Tears flowed. I just want peace. We left fractured. Her hand slipping from mine. Home. She locked in her room. I paced. Torres texting. Perimeter clear.
You good?
Define good. Next day. Carla's suit settled. $2M payout. Hargrove name scrubbed from ledgers. Celebration lunch. Falafel wraps in Andersonville. You're a warrior. Sienna. Carla toasted. Her kid. A boy Sophie's age. Grin shy, reminder of stakes. Sophie skipped it. Buried in code. Evening confession. I emailed Dad's lawyer. Asked for his side docs. Whatever. Rage boiled. Why undermine this? Not undermining. Seeking truth. Her chin lifted. You're not the only one who lost.
Stalemate.
I retreated to my studio, resurrected freelance life. Logos for startups blooming under my stylus. But sketches turned dark, fractured mirrors. Snakes in suits. Therapy? Considered it. But shrinks don't handle time loops. May bloomed scandal. Mark's appeal filed. Claiming spousal coercion. Me? The puppet master. Tabloids ate it. Revenge porn for the finance set? Death threats spiked. Torres moved in temporarily. Caught in the basement. Sophie freaked. This is insane. We're prisoners in our own house. Precaution. But her eyes screamed betrayal. Me. The jailer now. Climax brewed at the appeals hearing. Federal courthouse in the loop. Packed gallery. Victims. Reporters. Curiosity seekers. Sophie insisted. I testify. Foreclosure. Pride and terror ward. On stand. She shone. My dad chose greed over us. Mom chose truth. That's the story. Applause thundered. Judge denied appeal. Sentence upheld. Outside. Chaos, Mike's thrust. Flashes blinding. A man lunged. Protester? Rizzo. Mark's old PI. Face twisted. Bitch ruined good men. Torres tackled him. Cuffs clicked. Sophie paled. He knew Dad. Interrogation revealed. Mark hired him post-conviction. Monitor the family. Stalking logs. My runs. Her bus stops. Violation charges added. Mark's commissary cut. But the real shatter? Sophie. Post-adrenaline. In the car. Mom.
I
did something. Dread pooled.
What?
Hacked his prison email. Sent a virus. Wiped his contacts. Legal briefs. Nothing traceable. Her voice small. Eyes defiant. He tried to hurt us. Payback. Shock rippled. My daughter. Crossed the line I'd towed. Sophie. That's illegal. Dangerous. Like what you did? She shrugged, but trembled. Felt good. For a second. Hugs swallowed words. Pride? Horror?
Both.
The apple. Poisoned but potent. Summer scorched. Tensions easing. Sophie's app launched. Beta via Kickstarter. Budget guard. Fraud alerts for families. Backers poured in, including a Google Scout. Talent he emailed. Her star rose. Mine dimmed. Content in shadows. But Mark's final gambit slithered in. Contraband letter via guard.
Bribed. Sienna.
Sophie's not yours alone. Blood tests, paternity doubt. Call the number. Bluff. Or buried secret unearthed. The one-night lapse in Vegas. Oh, 3. Before Sophie. Heart seized. I dialed. Voice gruff. Yeah.
She's mine.
Want proof? $50,000 buys silence. Extortion. Controversial call. Pay or expose. Sophie deserved truth. But stability? I wired half. Then tipped feds, sting op. Guard arrested. Trail to Mark. His privileges revoked, solitary loomed. Victory.
Pyrrhic.
Sophie confronted. The letter. I saw you burn it. What's the doubt? Full disclosure time? No, half. Old lies. He's desperate. She nodded. But distance grew. Coding camp at UIC. She thrived mentors. Friends. First crush, a shy barista named Kai. Letters home, Mom. Freedom tastes like bad dorm coffee. I visited. Campus green envy stirring. Proud, I whispered. But alone. Doubts gnawed. Had my revenge warped her? From violin dreams to digital daggers? Fall semester. Her app went viral, Forbes 30 under 30 nod. Gala in NYC. Me in the audience. Tears blurring lights. Speech. To moms who fight invisible wars. Post-party. Champagne buzz. You started this.
Soph.
I just. Guided. She hugged fierce. Team Hargrove, minus the crook. Laughter healed cracks. But Twist whispered. A call from Elena. Relocated to Seattle. Mark's talking suicide watch. Says he knows your secret. The crash, you predicted it. Weeks before.
Chill. How?
My slips and arguments. You'll kill us all. Rebirth bleed through.
Keep him alive, I said.
I need him to rot. Back in Chicago. Snow flurried early. Sophie home for break. Baking disasters, burnt cookies.
Giggles.
Remember the cabin? Always. But memory layered. This life.
Last.
Ghosts overlapped.
Then.
The shatters echo. Sophie's laptop. Open tab. Prison records hack. Not just virus. She'd access my old file. The crash report. Driver error. Possible suicide? Her eyes met mine.
Mom.
You died. But you're here.
How?
Sophie's question hung like a guillotine. The laptop screen glowing accusation in the dim kitchen. Snowflakes tapping the window like impatient fingers. The crash report stared back, photos blurred by pixelation. But details sharp. Sienna Hargrove. 45. DOA. Brake failure. Blood alcohol 0.0. Note. Witnessed erratic driving. Erratic? No, his sabotage. But her hack delved deeper. Forum threads. Conspiracy whispers. Wife's prophecy of doom. Premonition or plot. Mom, her voice small, but steel-edged. 15 going on forensic. I closed the laptop.
Deliberate.
It's complicated. Coffee.
Stall.
She crossed arms. Freckles stark under fluorescence. No games. You talked in your sleep. Last summer. Post-trial. Not again.
Breaks.
Mark. I thought nightmare. Then this. She tapped screen. You died 7 years ago. But you're you. Younger.
Us.
Rebirth's dam cracked. How to explain cosmic glitch.
Soph.
Some things science can't touch. Try me. I code reality. Defiance. But fear flickered. Losing me again?
Sigh. Fine.
The crash. It happened. I died.
Betrayed.
Then poof. Back here. 2018. Second chance. Words absurd. Even to me. Her laugh bitter. Time travel? Reincarnation?
Mom.
That's truth. I pulled the drawer. Old USB. Mirror drives from that first reset week. Proof. Files timestamped pre-crash. His plans. The rig. I lived it. She plugged in. Eyes widening at folders. Mark _ embezzle _ 2025. Break _ sabotage _ sketch. Hours passed. Her murmurs. Holy shit. Offshore logs match. And this, your death, overdraft? He wrote it.
Nod.
Contingency. In case I talked. She rocked back.
Pale.
So all this, the leaks, the suit, wasn't just revenge. Survival. Both. Hand on hers.
For you.
Always. Tears came then.
Raw.
I thought you were crazy brave.
Now?
Superhero weird. Hug crushed. Sobs synced. Don't leave again. Promise. Promise. This time.
Truth.
Dawn broke brittle. Confessions lingering like frost. She grilled details. Crash pain? Hell. Rebirth blur? Like drowning in deja vu. By noon. Packed. No more solo hacks. Teamwork. But secrets breed more. Elena's warning echoed. Mark's knowledge. Bluff. I wrote the warden, psych eval. ASAP. Response. Inmate stable. Claims, wife's resurrection. Delusional. Sophie snorted over lunch, ramen. Her comfort. Dad's lost it. Fitting. Her app exploded post-gala. Download spiked. VC offers flooding. We flew to SF. Pitch meetings in glass towers. Her in blazer and jeans. Slaying sharks. Budget guard isn't software, she declared. It's armor. Deal. $1.2 million seed. Equity hers. Celebration. Dim sum in Chinatown. Then Golden Gate fog. Mom. This is ours. No ghosts. Ghosts followed. Back home. A package, no sender. Inside. Charred photo me. Pre-crash. Sophie toddlerhood. Back scrawled. Resurrect this. Mark's hand. Prison mail banned. Contraband. Torres swept. Rizzo's out on bail. Possible courier. We up security cameras. Alerts. Sophie bristled. Can't live scared. Then don't. Controversial. I taught her self-defense. Torres sessions. Punches landing solid. Fight dirty if needed. Her first block. Like you. Empowerment. Or poison. Winter holidays hit. Lena's bash rowdier. Eggnog spiked. Karaoke butchery. Sophie duet Bohemian Rhapsody. Nailing harmonies. Kai tagged along. Gangly. Glasses. Coding whiz. Your mom's cool, he whispered post-hug. She blushed. I feigned sleep. New Year's. We torched effigies. Mark's mugshot on sticks. Bonfire in the yard. To ashes, Sophie toasted. Laughter free. But eyes shadowed. Spring 2020 loomed. COVID whispers on news. But our bubble held. Sophie's freshman year at Northwestern deferred. Remote coding bootcamp instead.
Me?
Studio thrived, clients from her network. Branding for fintechs. Irony, anti-fraud logos. Snakes devouring tails.
Then,
The twists coil. Rizzo cornered Torres and a lot. Bat to knee. Warning. Tell the witch to back off. Assault charge stuck. Trial mini-me of Marks. Sophie testified. He stalked us. For dad. Jury, guilty. Sentence, 5 years. Mark implicated via calls. Keep pressure on. Her reaction? Hack 2. Rizzo's phone logs. Leaked to DA. Justice loop, she grinned. My girl. Forged in fire, mine. But controversy crested. Chicago Tribune. Teen phenoms dark hacks. Vigilante or victim. Her app scrutinized. Backdoors? Investors spooked. Stock dipped. Damage control. Presser. Me flanking. Sophie's a kid protecting her family. Like any of us would. Soundbites flew. Support surged. Stand with Sophie trended. Kai stood. Public post. She's the real deal. Haters fade. First boyfriend official. From virtual. But they danced in the living room. Me filming teary. Summer 2020. Pandemic peaked. Lockdowns bonded us. Board games. Virtual violin. Hers rusty. Baking sourdough fails. Secret shared. My Vegas fling. Pre-Sophie doubts. Worth it, she asked. Every scar. Honesty's bomb. Mark's appeal too frivolous.
denied.
Letter slipped through. Tell Sophie the truth. Not your resurrection, mine.
Cryptic.
Elena decoded. He's claiming rehab. Born again in prison. Wants family visit. Sophie wavered. One more.
No.
Firm. But she went solo. Torres tailing. Return shaken. He cried. Said he's sorry. Changed. Words. But her softness worried. Stockholm? Climax brewed fall. Her app IPOTs. Roadshow in NYC. We jetted. Bubble protocols. Masks mandatory. Panel her.
Poised.
Fraud preys on trust. I rebuilt mine. Q&A bomb. Your father's crimes. Fuel or flaw? Fuel. Flaws forgiving too easy. Mic drop. After party. Skyline views. Champagne flutes. Kai via Zoom.
Proud.
But elevator down. Anonymous text to my burner. Revived for ops. Resurrected bitch. Funds not all. Sophie's not his. Attached. DNA report. Falsified? Lab stamp legit. Paternity 0%. Heart stopped. The Vegas ghost? Or Mark's final forgery? Confronts Sophie pre-flight. We need a test. Real one. Why now? Truth sets free. Lie, fear chained. Lab wait agonizing. Quarantine Christmas. Lena's Zoom feast. Results. 99.9% match. Marks. Relief flooded. Tears. You're ours. But the sender? Traced to prison IP Mark. Bribing for chaos. His punishment. Transferred to Max SC. Appeals quashed. Sophie's response. App update. Truth shield. Paternity fraud detector. Viral again. 2021 dawn vaccines. Reopenings. Her dorm life bloomed. Evanston campus.
Kai weekends. Me?
Dated tentatively. Barista named Joel.
Kinda eyes.
No schemes. But the buried secret's last gasp. Elena's call. Frantic. Mark's shanking a guard. Screaming your name. She came back to destroy me. Solitary eternal. His world,
Shattered.
ours, mending. Sophie Holmes' spring break. Mom. Thanks for the reset. Irony. Teamwork. Yet twists lingered. In dreams. The crash replayed. Not horror. But launch. Reborn. Not once. Ongoing. Every choice rippled. Sophie's shatter? Not destruction, creation. She broke his chains. Forged ours. Summer 2021 sweltered. Chicago's humidity a sticky shroud as Sophie's app, now Truth Guard suite, hit unicorn status. Valuation soaring past $100 million. Boardrooms beckoned. She jetted to Austin. South by Southwest panels dissecting ethical AI in fraud detection. I tagged along. Proud shadow in the crowd. Her speeches echoing my unspoken mantra, expose the lies. Kai proposed collab, joint app for couples finances. Trust metrics via blockchain. No more Mark surprises, she joked over Tex-Mex. But surprises stalked. Rizzo's trial appeal dredged old dirt, testimony from a source claiming I coerced the PI flip. Subpoena arrived, depose me. Paint the vigilante. Lawyers swarmed, Sophie fumed. Let 'em. Will countersue for defamation. Controversial?
Hell.
I greenlit her hack, legal gray, scrape public records, expose Rizzo's ties to mobbed-up landlords. Leaks to ProPublica, stalking for hire? Article dropped, appeal tanked. Her boldness thrilled. Terrified. You're playing with fire. Kid. Learned from the best. Wink. But eyes shadowed. Insomnia bites. Code as crutch. Fall semester. Northwestern grind. CS major. Ethics minor. Irony. Kai official. Ringless. But talks of forever. Visits home. Family dinners. Joel charming with dad jokes. Sienna. Your girl's a force. Like her mom.
Blush.
But Mark's echo. A smuggled audio. Via Elena's contact, pen pal gone rogue. His voice. Raspy. Sophie. It's grandpa now. Time to meet your real family.
Delusion?
Or twist. He'd named her in a will.
Contesting assets from solitary.
Lawsuit. His estate planning. Jailhouse scribbles. Claiming reformed status. Demanding visitation rights post-release. Parole whisper. 2030. Sophie laughed it off. Over my dead code. But dead echoed. Nightmares returned, crash. But now her behind wheel. I woke screaming, she comforted. I'm here. Not going anywhere. Thanksgiving 2021. Lena's expanded new hubby. A burly firefighter named Pete. Turkey carved. Story spun. My widowhood glossed as divorce. Sophie stage whispered. Mom's a phoenix. Burned bright. Rose brighter. Toasts clinked. Joel's hand warm in mine. Post-feast. Porch swing. Marry me? Not proposal. Test. When you're ready. Working on it. Rebirth's gift time. Unhurried. 2022 bloomed scandals. Truth Guard subpoenaed in a celeb fraud case, some Hollywood producer's Ponzi. Sophie testified remotely. Unflappable. Data doesn't lie. People do. Verdict. Guilty. Her face on Variety. The hacker heiress. Haters howled. Nepo kid on steroids. Docs attempts. Torres firm 24/7. She shrugged. Fuel. Climax crested summer. Mark's hearing. Virtual parole board.
Sophie requested slot. Closure.
I protested. Let him rot. Watch me end it. Her steel. Screen flickered, gray walls. His face aged, wrinkles canyons, eyes dead fish. Board droned. Then her. Dad. You stole more than money.
Trust.
Future. He leaned in.
Pixelated. Soph. I. No.
You rigged brakes. Framed mom. Lied about blood. I know everything.
Pause.
Blade sharp. And I forgive, for me.
Not you.
Stay caged.
Board denied.
His howl cut feed. She logged off.
Drained.
Shattered. Empowered. Hug. Tears salt sweet. Twist's veil lifted fall. Elena in town. Coffee at Intelligentsia. Mark's done suicide attempt. Blamed your ghost. But the real bomb? He confessed in therapy logs. You knew the fraud early. Ignored it for years. Sienna pushed me deeper. Gaslight postmortem. Truth? In first life. I'd suspected. Buried head, love's blindfold. Rebirth clarified. Complicity's shade. Told Sophie partial. I wasn't innocent. Learned late. You're human. Her grace. My anchor. 2023. Her graduation. Cap toss. Summa cum laude. Speech. To second chances grab Codem. Live Kai post-ceremony. Ring glinting. Yes, she beamed. My toast at reception. To Sophie, shatterer of worlds, builder of better. Joel proposed that night, quiet, lakeside. Yes. Full circle. But final twist, package. Post-grad. No sender, locket. Sophie's baby photo inside. Note. From the real father.
Call.
Number traced, Vegas PI. Old flames kin. DNA redux, match. 98%. The fling was fruitful? No, lab error. Mark's tampering exposed in chain of custody. Feds pounced, his last con. From the grave, he'd hung himself. Logs confirmed. Resurrection my ass, Sophie snorted. Just desperate. His world?
Dust.
Ours? Diamond hard. Epilogue whispers 2025, current date. My third life flare. Sophie weds Kai. App Empire funds orphanages, ironic redemption.
Joel and I. Grang.
Walk the block. Regrets? None. Rebirth's lie? Always one more chance. But in quiet. I wonder, was it fate? Or fight? Doesn't matter. We won. Shattered. Yes. Rebuilt unbreakable.